Maria Magdolna Bodi was a Hungarian factory worker who stabbed a Soviet soldier in the eye with scissors while defending her purity. She delayed him long enough for others to escape, but unfortunately she was killed. She was born in 1921 into a poor Hungarian family and nicknamed Magdi. She was a cheerful yet studious child, and she didn't mind the long trek her family took to Mass each week. Her childhood was spent helping her mother with chores and helping others. She once noticed that an orphan child in her village was living in poverty, so she went door to door begging for warm clothes to give to them. As she grew, her religious fervor deepened. She loved reading religious books and spending time with children, walking with them to Mass. She felt called to the religious life, but there was a huge problem. Her father had been a prisoner of war in World War I, and he returned to the country without papers. These papers were necessary for marriage, so her parents were not able to get married in the church. Magdi and her siblings were illegitimate, and the rules of the time precluded her from joining a religious order. Unable to enter the religious life, she decided to take a private vow of chastity and to live as holy a life as possible in a secular setting. She started working at Nitrochemia, which was a pyrotechnics factory, working with explosives and rockets. She distinguished herself as a particularly diligent worker, and she was known for gently evangelizing to her fellow colleagues. If they would say something inappropriate or use foul language, she would gently correct them and guide them the right way. She also kept up her charitable works, traveling around by bicycle to help those in need. She loved working with children in particular. Her bosses at the factory wanted to promote her to a foreman position, but she refused, stating that she was young and childless and a person with a family would need the pay raise more than she did. She was active in the Sodality of Our Lady and in the Catholic Association of Working Girls. This latter group invited her to conduct a retreat in a nearby village for some female workers there, and while they offered to pay for all of her travel expenses, she insisted on using her own savings to fund her travel. This retreat is really what confirmed in her heart her calling to bring workers closer to Jesus. After the Second World War began, her life became increasingly austere. She eventually would give up all jewelry and refuse to go to the beach or movies. Always keen to help others, she tried to become a nurse to help wounded soldiers, but her factory refused to give up one of their best workers. As the war came to a close, Soviet soldiers drew closer to her village. As they advanced, tales of their depravity and crimes preceded them. Like other women in the village, Magdi knew that the threat of rape and murder were very real. On March 23, 1945, Magdi was in a courtyard near a home along with some other women and children. Two Soviet soldiers approached the group and tried to force Magdi into the home. Knowing the fate that awaited her, she reached into her pocket to grab a pair of scissors that she always kept at hand. Magdi stabbed one of the soldiers in the eye and rushed to escape. She called out to the others and urged them to run. She said, "Escape, because it will be your turn. I'm about to die." At that moment, the wounded soldier recovered his wits and shot her. She said, "Lord, my king, take me," and grabbed her rosary. He shot her 5 more times in the back, killing her. Her father recovered her body, but it could not be buried right away. So many people in the town had been killed that it took a few days for the local priest to organize a cemetery group to clear up all the bodies. She was buried 3 days later. Her saintly life and tragic death greatly impacted her community. A mass is held in her honor every year in the town in which she died. Pope Francis recognized her as a martyr in 2024. She will be beatified on September 6, 2025. Her feast day is March 23rd.